The origin of FiDi came about because there was a real need in the marketplace to identify an area that was rich in culture, residential, commercial, and retail tenants, as well as a lot of civic projects that are going on. And nobody really knew how to identify that specific area. The area itself is one of the oldest areas in New York City, being the first area that was founded in New York, and the first real inhabitants were located there. And yet, in today's modern world, if somebody was located in that area and said, "Please meet me," they didn't have a name for it, and nobody really understood how quite to define the financial district, as it was a little bit known at the beginning. So when somebody said, "Meet me downtown," the definition of downtown was really so vast and large that nobody really understood where they were going. Some people associated downtown at 34th Street, some people associated downtown at 23rd Street, others associated at Canal Street. But the financial district itself was never really defined where people can clearly identify that as a location. And the name financial district wasn't being used at all. So you have this area which is very rich and very wonderful in culture and population and uses without any form of identification, which is really quite extraordinary. So I came up originally with the name FiDi, which is an acronym from the financial district, to be able to give the area itself a proper identification, and where people can then begin to at least understand where they were describing when they were living, working, or going out in that particular area. And if you look at the history of New York, acronyms have been a leading part of identifying places to live and work. SoHo, which stands for South of Houston Street; Tribeca, which is Triangle below Canal Street, and other areas have been clearly identified with an acronym and give a sense of identification of a specific area. So I originated and coined the term FiDi to give some definition and identification to, I think, one of the most extraordinary areas in New York City. And that area really is bounded by, let's say, south of the City Hall area, or south of Chambers Street, and really going into Broadway and east of Broadway, and then bounded by the two areas of the water. South, we get the Hudson River and East River meeting, and then east on the East River side. And this area itself is one of the most extraordinary areas in New York City.